I'm so horrible. I'm debating on making this video or not. And the reason why I'm debating it is whether or not it'll actually have an effect. I don't know. Alright, so what's going to happen next is I'm going to totally trash my mom on her birthday. That's what's happening next. That's what's going to happen next. I'm going to totally say everything I want to get off my chest about my mom on her birthday. That way, I don't have to do this again. I'm not going to keep doing this to you. I should, but I'm not. Because then I wouldn't have actually healed and be living my life if I just keep focusing on attacking you all day. Okay, so let's get this straight right off the bat. My mom is known as a covert narcissist. This is for you to know too, Christine. And the reason why I say that is there's plenty of narcissists out there and sociopaths who have their own YouTube channel and are self-aware. And they make videos all the time about what goes on in their head. And they're a lot more able to be dealt with. That sounds brutal. But yeah, they're more functional in society. A lot better to deal with. Yeah, I'll say that for sure. The ones who are self-aware are more easier to deal with. Can't fucking talk. So I'm going to say some things that I need to get off my chest. I know you don't have empathy. That's a fact. You just don't have the ability to have empathy for others. And this is what they call pulling the mask off the narcissist, which is why the last time I did this, you had such a crazy reaction and called the police and tried to send me to a rehab, all to do whatever it took to avoid me taking that mask off. That was that conversation the last time I saw you in your house, is I figured it out. And narcissists know when people figure them out because they spend their whole life having this mask. Because if people really knew that they were dealing with somebody who couldn't have empathy at all, it's a whole other relationship, isn't it? It's a whole other thing. So I'm going to say some things I don't like. Throughout my childhood and Jake's, you got dogs and got rid of them. That shit sucked. My little brother loved Sadie. You remember Sadie? That's the dog after we had our little whatever, and then you decided to go get a new dog and use it as your profile picture so everybody thought you actually gave a fuck about things? Yeah. So anyway, the dog before that one, and I don't know if you still have that dog, but the dog before that one, Sadie, my little brother loved that dog. The fact is, you don't know what that is. You can't relate. No matter how hard you try, and everybody that watches this, if they want to comment below, whatever, I don't care. This is for you as a person. This is how much I love my mom. I love my mom so much, I will make this video. Because it's the only way you have a chance at a better life at all. You're not going to get a better life doing what you're doing. It's just not going to happen. So anyway, you need to come to grips with some fucked up things you've done. And one of them is you bought animals and then your kids, got attached to them and then you got rid of them for no reason at all. For like, you have them for a couple of months or a year and then you get rid of them. It's really fucking heartbreaking for those who actually can connect emotionally. Let's see, what else do I want to get off my chest? I didn't really pre-plan this all, Oh, by the way, I got a new car. I was totally going to make this video in an aggressive style, which was like, look at my new car, because I know you would totally hate that shit, me doing well and you not. Narcissists hate that shit. But yeah, I got a brand new minivan. I love it. I'll show it off maybe at the end. I don't really give a fuck. make it the thumbnail. This is literally my birthday gift to me. And the reason why it was so funny that I saved up just the right amount of money, $3,700 living in a fucking tent to get this car, and it plays out to where I get it like on your birthday. Like the insurance I have to pay every month is literally on the day of your birth. That's so funny. Like every month it'll be on the 12th. Perfect. So funny. The reason why that's so funny is every year I would have to get my mom something. And if anybody that actually has real narcissists in their life knows, that's never enough. And I'll never forget this one year, I got you this marble. I know this sounds so stupid, but it was a marble. Hand blown by a guy named Nick in St. Louis. and it cost like $80, and I was like 15 or 16 or something. $80 is a lot for somebody that doesn't have a job and their income's like nothing. And I remember I thought that was the gift that would do it. And it was a marble that was handmade, perfect, and it had the universe, it had a galaxy inside of it. And when you looked at it, it would be deeper than it looked. So it had a magnifying, the guy made the glass in a way where there was a magnifying effect. It was very amazing. It was mind-blowing, the fact that a human being made this, and I knew that guy. And you had the whole galaxy in the palm of your hands, just like Men in Black with the fucking cat. Had that little marble around its neck. The whole universe is in it. That's what it was. I had one of those. And I remember I gave it to my mom, and then she started crying and whining about how I don't love her, and then she threw it down the fucking stairs. And I'll never forget the sound of that thing hitting every goddamn wooden step from the attic I slept in all the way down the stairs. And then later, when you're dating Tony, you had it on a display case like you actually fucking appreciated it when you didn't. So I want you to know that hurt me, that every single year, nothing was good enough to give you. So I'm kind of happy that the universe played out to where I got a car this year. Fuck yeah. On your birthday. I'm like, fuck yeah. That's so funny. Best gift for all the gifts I've given you, and you didn't fucking appreciate it. In fact, that made it really difficult in general dealing with people because of that, how that played out. How that played out. Where that does not enough. In every relationship I ever try to find, I'd always keep manifesting shitty ass people because that's all I knew that was love from my mom. My dad is also a narcissist. He's what's called a grandiose narcissist. So it's a lot more obvious. A covert narcissist is the hardest one out of all of them to detect if you get into it. If you really look up narcissism like I have every day for the last 2 years, I've got like probably 100+ hours of narcissist videos that I have watched on this topic. All right, so I mentioned the Sadie thing. That was a big one. I don't know if my little brother ever brought it up to you, but I'm going to tell you right now, you hurt his fucking feelings. You hurt your own kid's feelings about getting this dog and then getting rid of him. My little brother has, I think my little brother is in a lot better of a place than I was because he's aware now that you're a narcissist. He's not fully aware of it. Because if you fully understood that you had no empathy, duh, right? But he's a lot more aware of it than I am. I was. Coffee's kicking my ass again. What else? Like I said, I'm not trying to sit here and just keep attacking you, even though I fucking should. There's so much shit that you have done. There's just so much shit, and that's why it's so important for me to forgive you. Because if I could forgive you, the worst enemy in my entire life is like been my parents. Without a doubt, like the worst, most negatively impactful. You know, I was just on the phone with my insurance agent today, and she was like, yeah, my stepdad, who I didn't live with, was a narcissist, but, you know, it's your mom, and you should probably go back to her. And, like, that was the whole little speech, and I was like, wow, that bitch has no clue then, does she? At all. Because there's no way you can be around these people without you dying, without them dismantling you. They do the same thing. They love bomb people, they get them in, they reflect back that which they think they like. They don't have emotions like that, so they just think about what you would like, and they reflect it on you. You come in, and then they devalue you and throw you to the side. That's what they do. They devalue you, and they need somebody as narc supply. That's like the term. They need somebody to feed off of and have love and all that other stuff just going into the black hole. They need somebody, and that's a narcissistic relationship all day. They need somebody. You know, I got a lot of friends and people. I could sit here and name all these different people that have narcissists in their lives. I want to call them on blast. I don't really care right now to do that on this video. I'm just calling out my mom. Like I said, if you want to leave a comment about how horrible of a kid I am, that just shows that, like, two things. That you don't have no idea what a narcissist is, or they're in your life and you're so gaslit that you can't imagine doing this. Because that's what gaslighting is. You know, I got to tell you the story. I actually said goodbye to my entire family on Mother's Day. And I'll tell you why. As you know, I always follow my feelings. And for a year straight, I had this feeling in my gut. it was like the heaviest weight in the world. And I knew what I had to do was say goodbye to my family. And I couldn't figure out why. And then like a year, it's like almost like having a girlfriend cheating on you and like you dealt with it for a year and you knew it. That's how this felt. For every day for like a year, I had this feeling like that. Perfect example. And I just didn't know why, and I couldn't understand why, because my mind was all mind fucked from gaslighting by a narcissist. So I couldn't figure out it, because all this up here was turned into a maze by having a narcissist in your life. That's what they do. They play games up here with you. So I couldn't logically figure out why, but my feelings, my higher self, God, the universe, whatever, knew. And my feelings told me, you need to say goodbye to your whole family. So I snapped and I yelled at the sky that the next time my family got together for another shitty get-together where nobody, like, it's so obvious. They get together, they do the same shit every time. Cheryl's late. Oh, we're here eating food. Hurry up and eat dinner so we get the fuck out of here. And that's what they do. They just get together and get the fuck out of here because we don't want to be here. We don't even want to be in the same room with each other. That's how it is, every family gathering. And I promised, 11 o'clock, I promised that the next time I had a family gathering, I was going to say goodbye to all of them. And guess what day it was? Mother's Day. Didn't plan it at all. I didn't even plan that. Talk about karma. The universe wanted me to say goodbye to my narcissistic mother because I saw something that day. And even though I had to come back to relearn my lesson of why I need to leave, that did happen. I ended up coming back to see why I couldn't trust these people. But the funniest thing was, I remember I got up. We just got done playing a game of Yahtzee, and I said goodbye. I told everybody how I felt, that I needed to leave, and I didn't say it aggressively. I wasn't attacking my mom. I had no idea why I had to leave. I wasn't even aware why it's Mother's Day and I'm doing this. But I knew I had to do it. And so I said what I felt. I watched my sister cry, who, by the way, has attacked me too, but she's not a full-blown narcissist, made evidence by the fact that she even could cry. I watched my grandma cry. I watched my aunt wish me luck on my journey. Stuart isn't related to me, but he had an emotional reaction. But I watched my mom do this. She was looking around the room, wondering what to do, because she sure as fuck couldn't pull out the whip and say no. Everybody's watching, and she doesn't have any emotional response to this because she doesn't care. So I remember that. Every single person there on that day, usually when your kid says goodbye to you forever, you would have a tear, but no tears because she can't feel at all. Do you understand? Imagine that. Imagine your kid. There's a mom watching this video right now on Facebook. Somebody, I don't care who, probably going to leave a comment like, you're such a horrible kid. If your kid said goodbye to you forever, would you cry? Because this bitch didn't at all. She just smiled and was wondering if anybody could tell she didn't give a fuck. That was her face. I remember it. She looked left and she looked right. She was studying everybody else, trying to figure out a plan up here, because that's all that's going on is up here. And that's so funny. Karma is so real. A lot of people don't know this. I'll tell you this too. Again, don't care about revealing this information. All the information I ever revealed was used against me by this woman. So I'll say this. My mom had tumors in her ovaries. Oh, I can't believe I said that. And I remember at the time, because I actually thought she gave a fuck, I was like, oh no, my mom might die. She has cancer possibly. I was all sad. Whatever, and it found out that they were benign, or whatever word to prove that the tumor isn't cancerous. So she removed them. And I now realize, looking back, that was like karma. Totally. 14 when I said that. Karma. The universe said, you shall have no more children. No doubt. No sex drive to go out and find men to take everything they got. You can't do it anymore. Ain't that funny? So next time somebody has cancer or a tumor and you're like, wow, life's so unfair, you don't know that person. I lived with her and I didn't realize that was what was going on. That's how horrible gaslighting is. Yeah. I swear to God, that's what I believe. I think you got tumors right there, so you couldn't find more men, mind fuck them, and you can't have more kids to have narc supply to feed off them and lower their self-worth, because that's how it works. You have to kill the self-love of the individual to keep them at a level, to have control over them. It's the only way to do it. And so it just, okay, I said all that. And I do believe in all this. I swear to God. Anything else I want to say? That coffee's really kicking my ass. Go for another sip. I mean, for like a year after going into the house, like, I remember the last day I dealt with my mom, I was figuring it out. Like, the map up here was getting unblocked. The path that my emotions have led me to here and there was revealing to me on a conscious level who my enemy is in this life. Who is the person that's like making it almost impossible to grow at all? It was this person. It's my mom. My dad's just not around to really do it. But yeah, my dad hooked me on hard meth. I lived in the house, stealing and all this other fucked up. I don't even want to get into all that. Yeah, that was really dark. But the low self-worth, it's just too much. I mean, there really is just too much. I don't even want to list it all. I really just wanted to get off the fact that, you threw away my little brother's favorite dog. And that's fucked up. That's a big one. That's fucked up. I know you don't relate because you can't. Like I said, I've watched you not have any emotional response when I said goodbye forever in a room full of everybody who was able to feel love and broke down in some way. And I watched as you couldn't. So, I almost didn't make this video because there's no point. But there is a point, is no matter where you are, you can work on yourself. I will never be in your life again. I don't care how much you work on yourself. Like, you don't deserve me. But I do want you to be a happier person. But you need to come to grips with your narcissist. Like, you need to come to grips. Like, that's what you are, right? If you really want to look into it, you're a covert narcissist. That is, you fit every definition to a T. Like 100%. It's crazy. Anything else I want to say? Yeah, like I said, I was going to brag about my car and rub it in your face like a narcissist would do. Yeah, I mean, I could just sit here and talk shit about 1,001 stories, but I really got off what I wanted to say. Yeah. All right, well, I would say have a happy birthday, but I mean, I really want you to have a reflective birthday. Hope you have a reflective birthday. Reflect back on what I said. You would never fucking listen to me. No, you wouldn't listen to anybody when they're talking. This is like the only chance you have is that you're stalking me, watching this video, and forcing yourself to watch it or whatever. I don't. You might watch it because you're so obsessed, because that's just the mindset you guys have that you'll end up watching it. But if I was talking to you, you wouldn't watch this. If I was talking to you, you wouldn't listen. Yeah. Crazy. So many people, I was watching this video, the compilation of people that had to deal with this in their childhood. And it usually plays out to where when that person in their life, their parent, who was a narcissist, dies, the feeling they all had was, thank fucking God. And it's so fucked up because you live in a world where that's really not something you can say when somebody dies, is it? Like, thank fucking God. Like, about fucking time. Like, what a relief. I feel that way so much. Like, if you were to die, thank fucking God. But because I have empathy, I still have some God-level unconditional love reserved for you anyway, which is so stupid, I feel at times. Like, I love my mom. This video doesn't reflect any of that. I know. I know I love my mom because I have a story about walking towards my death to save a guy who was a malignant narcissist. If you don't know what that is another word for malevolent. I walked towards my death for a guy who threatened to stab the shit out of me. A malignant narcissist is pretty much the one narcissist that equals a psychopath at full level. Like that, they're both at the same level playing field. Any mass murderer, serial killer, they're pretty much likely at psychopath or malignant narcissist. That's the two. And yet I have an experience, a very divine experience, where I walked to my death to save that person, which I don't think I would have done all that if there wasn't some higher power that believes that that person can change too. So, but I do want to say while making this video, if there's a narcissist in your life, don't you fucking dare wait for them to change or be in their life, because they're playing on this whole other field of you doing that and them using it to manipulate you all day, and they're aware of it. They're aware that that's the thing that keeps people in relationships, is hope that the person will change, guilt for all the things they didn't do, especially if you have a covert narcissist, because you feel so guilty because they're so sad and depressed and they got such a victim mentality and oh me and nothing ever worked my way and your dad cheated on me all the time and da-da-da-da-da. And all that stuff makes people with empathy like me make it so hard to give up on you, because we have hope that you will change, like I'm revealing now. And that's why we stay in that relationship and we become shitty-ass evil people ourselves. And then our kids grow up and we make them into narcissists too. And it just keeps going on. And it doesn't end. You know? So, really, I want you to work on yourself. The funny thing is, like I said, God took away your ability to have more kids. And I really believe it's because people like me and Jacob are going to grow up and we're not going to be like you guys at all. And to be honest with you, I'm like 99% sure Jake's dad is also a narcissist. Like I'm like 99.9. I just don't remember the name for that one, but I remember listening to a video describing exactly him to a T, and I just can't remember the name for that. But yeah, you know, I come from a family of narcissists. It's crazy. All right, I love you guys. Leave your comments below. And I hope after you get through all your dumb shit, Ma, that you actually do have actual happy days in your future. Because a lot of people think narcissism is all about loving yourself. Narcissists don't love themselves. They don't love anything. They don't have that ability. So they don't love themselves and they don't love others. So, you know, and truth is at this point, they're not going to really be able to really love others, but they can care about themselves enough to get diagnosed or realize that they have this problem and work on themselves and make it easier on other people's lives, because they can realize mentally that, you know, they can't feel it, but they can realize mentally that that's doing damage to people. Don't do that. I love you.